Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about celery, believe it or not, and how celery can be used to help you understand about prospecting or about really anything in your life that takes some work to make it happen. This is mainly for my fellow real estate agents, but like I said, it can apply to all sorts of things. So let's talk about this for a second. So celery takes 120 to 180 days to grow. So let's say you decide you want to plant some celery. You go ahead and you cultivate a field, you plant the seeds, you weed it, you fertilize it, all that stuff. Celery, as you may imagine, takes a lot of water to grow. So you have to constantly keep that field wet. So you're growing that celery, you're spending lots of time cultivating it, you're pouring water on it, and then all of a sudden it starts to come up. And let's say that after 100 days or so, you start seeing the early shoots of celery coming up, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some cream of celery soup. And you run out there, you chop down all the celery that's grown up, and you go inside and you make the soup. You get a big pot of it, and you're like, oh, this is why I grew the celery. This is awesome. And then you put the soup, you eat it, you put the rest in the refrigerator, and you say, I've got soup now, I'm just gonna relax. And so you're relaxing. While you're relaxing and not watering your celery, everything in that field is dying. Everything is falling apart. And when you're done with the soup and you go back out looking for more celery, guess what? There's none there, it's all dead. You haven't been spending any time cultivating while you've been eating the soup. So if we look at that as an analogy of prospecting, we all, if we're gonna be successful in real estate, we need to prospect. That could look like a lot of different things. Some people cold call, some people call on friends and family in their sphere of influence. Some people hold open houses, but we all need to be prospecting and staying in touch with people if we're going to be successful in this industry. So just like the person with the celery soup who allowed his field to dry up, what I see very often with too many agents is they work really hard, they spend all that time cultivating leads, and as soon as they see a few leads pop up through the surface, they grab them, they run with them, they focus all their time and energy on those leads, and they forget about the other leads in the field that they've been working on. So what happens is while they're spending time with those leads, the other leads are dying on the vine. And when they realize that those leads have closed and they've got no business left to work on, they go back to that field and they realize that all their work has been dried up. And the sad thing is, had they just spent a little bit more effort than what they already had, that field could have yielded 10, 50, 100 times the harvest that it actually did for them. So they now have to go all the way back to the beginning, start cultivating from scratch, and start reestablishing whatever connections they made with anybody as they were doing that prospecting. And it's a vicious cycle. You take the early fruit and you run with that, and you take those leads and turn them into sales and stop cultivating your field, and you got to start over every time. So if you continue, it's the cultivation and the prospecting that produces what you're working on. So you need to keep doing that all the time, no matter what. Just like if you wanted soup every day, you'd have to keep cultivating that field of celery even while you're enjoying the soup that it's produced. It's the same thing with your leads. You have to keep cultivating that field of leads while it's producing the sales that you're enjoying. So hopefully that made a little sense to you, and hopefully that might strike a chord and help you to continue to prospect even when you are working with your clients. And what will happen is, if you take that approach, those efforts will yield 50, 100 times more fruit than when you stop prospecting to work your clients. And instead of having business that goes like this, you'll have business with a steady increase. So hope that helps. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch up with you next time. Thanks.